Guys, Crypto with Dinny, and it's Dinny here. I come on this morning, going to give you a quick little update, my perspective of what's going on and maybe what you should do, or just a little bit of education, as always, not financial advice, just some education for you. Because, and I've done these videos before, I'm like, oh, another one. Market's wrecked, you have to do another one. But you do, because for a lot of people, they're newer to crypto, okay? And we think when we come here it's easy. It's a get rich quick, it's easy money, all those Bitcoiners, those assholes just got lucky, and now it's my turn to get lucky. And then you've heard me saying this loads of times, but it doesn't register until you experience the pain. Now we're experiencing the pain. Like, everyone's portfolios are down 60, 70, 80%. If you're overexposed to altcoins, you're down 90, 95%. That's why the Crypto With Dinny plan has always been around accumulating Bitcoin. That's the core part of the pension plan. And I know during the bull market that was like the boring thing, and no one's interested in Bitcoin because altcoins would, outperform Bitcoin. But pensions aren't built over the short term. Pensions are built over the long term. A pension's job is to protect and generate wealth. And that's why we do it this way. And I'm definitely not trying to go, haha, I told you so, because there's nothing constructive in that. When people are already hurting, there's no point in kicking you when you're down. One thing, okay, is experience is priceless. All right, experience is priceless. And the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life have come from hard experiences. Lessons that I never forget. Lessons that sculpt me into the person I am today, and lessons that allow me to build principles around them, which navigate my life. So experience is priceless, and if it's a bad experience, it's priceless, because crypto's not going away. Bitcoin's going to be here for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. Okay? So if you can learn a lesson this year in 2022, happy days, now you're experienced. Remember, only 1% of the world is experiencing this thing, 1, 2%, and now you're one of them. The other 99% all have to come and make all the same mistakes that we all made in the beginning, to become overexposed, to have high time preferences where we want it now and quick, and we don't understand volatility or risk, and we don't understand how to manage a risk, or how to protect ourselves. So the first thing is, this is why the Crypto With Dinny plan is largely based around accumulating Bitcoin and using the various different ways that we teach on the bootcamp. So we'll go through all that now. I've been saying since 2020 that we're going to have, a recession. I wasn't sure. I was just pretty sure, because we stopped the world for a year. And I'm a dummy. Like, I'm not an economist. I'm just some pleb with a few chickens, okay? And it was just like, you can't just grind the whole economic machine to a halt and then flick a switch and start it up again. There has to be repercussions. You can't inflate the money supply to the extent that we did and not see that there's going to be rampant inflation. You hear me give the example of cigarettes in prison. If you mess with the money, you change the rules. And that's what we did. We messed with the money. And we've changed the rules, and now we have to pay for our mistakes. Ignore the scammers in the comments, guys. Please remember, if Crypto With Dinny messages you, I promise you it's not me. The only way to contact me is if you know. Because the scammers even tell you to DM them, and then you're talking to them. If you want to get in contact with Crypto With Dinny, just be careful. If you get a message to DM them or anything, they impersonate me all the time. Just like they'll impersonate you. They'll screenshot your photographs and say you won a prize. So, what was I on about? This is sort of a waffle. I have a couple of points to talk about. It's bad out there, okay? But I have no short-term good news, because we're in recession now, and we're going deeper, unfortunately. Or fortunately, whatever way you look at it. I remember in the 2008 recession, geez, it was great, lads. I had loads of time off. I didn't have any money now, but you'd be surprised, like, sometimes having no money means you have no worries. You get your bit of dole and whatever. I know, obviously, money worries are a killer for people, and we obsess over them. But, macro situation is still a mess out there, okay? So for risk assets, like Bitcoin, doesn't look good. in the short term. Now, that doesn't mean I'll stop buying Bitcoin, because I buy Bitcoin for the longer term, for the medium term. So I dollar cost average into it, and every month my goal is to have more Bitcoin than I had the month before, and I continue to accumulate and accumulate. Like I see, Bitcoin is a €1 million asset, more. So, you know, I'm going to accumulate it. It's just, the problem is that most of the world doesn't understand it. And I'll give you a little example of how this works. See the emotions that you're feeling now. If any of you guys are, I wouldn't say newer, but with experience you're able to manage this stuff. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet and say I have no emotions. I have a small bit of emotion. No, I don't really. Like, I just don't. What's happening now, it doesn't affect me at all. And I don't know why that is. Maybe there's something wrong in my head. But it doesn't, because it's like, I haven't sold any Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still the exact same. It's got all the same fundamental properties, and none of them have broke. And this is just market volatility. But what I'll say to help you understand it, because I see the comments on videos and I'm getting panic messages, and that's fine and okay, alright? But see the emotion that you're feeling and you're experiencing. Well, multiply that by the world, because there's millions of people who are all overexposed to crypto, or even just exposed to it or invested in it, and they're all going through the exact same emotions of the fear. And, you know, in the bull market we go through the greed. So, you know, and that's why we see this extreme volatility in the market. And there's also leverage in the market, so that could get flushed out. And we have quantitative tightening, which means we're not printing money anymore. Imagine not printing money. Or I think we're still printing, we're just not printing as much. But, you know, it's going to affect all this stuff in the short term. And it's not just crypto markets that have crashed. Like, regular stock markets are worse than they were in 2008. They are wrecked. Just in case any of you guys aren't tuned into that and you are just focused solely on crypto. So with Bitcoin, it's a long-term, it's a pension plan. Do you know what I mean? And when I say pension plan, I do say 4 years, 4 to 40. 4 is your bullish and 40 is your bearish. And I know I always say I get excited when the price comes down. I get more interested. But it's true. Like, people have sent me messages saying, should they sell? And like, I can't tell you what you should or shouldn't do. But why would I sell when the price is down? You're meant to sell when the price is up, not down. I don't believe crypto is going anywhere. I don't believe Bitcoin is going anywhere. So, I'd be buying when the price is down, not selling. I wouldn't be greed buying. I'd just be sticking to my strategy. That's why I Crypto With Dinny. We make people put strategies down, and we make them write it on a piece of paper so that they're not overexposed, so they understand their risk, so they're able to diversify and protect yourself so you can go through these markets. Because nobody gets lucky here. It takes going through pain, okay? That's why it's not for everyone, okay? Or if you're going through too much pain, you're overexposed. So now, guess what you'll do? You'll invest less now. So you invest more in the bull market when you should invest less, and then in the bear market when you should invest more, you'll invest less. So you'll do the exact opposite thing. Now, the reason you'll do that is because you didn't invest into your education. Alright? And I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here or say you should have, could have, would have done Crypto With Dinny courses, consulting, whatever. But we teach all this stuff. There's a reason why I spent tens of thousands on my crypto education. Because it's return on investments all that matters, not price. Okay? But experience is priceless, and we're all getting more experience now. The next thing about recessions, I have a few little points here to talk about, but there's a couple of ways to be wealthy. Okay? There's financial wealth as one. Okay? But there's also spiritual. Okay? And then there's also health. So if there's an old recession, lads, and you have a bit more time in your hands, and you're like, feck you, Dinny, I'm after losing all my money, and you're telling me I need to get a bit more spiritual, or work on my health a little bit. Well, yes, because you need a balance of all those things. So personally, that's what I'll be doing. So there's not much happening. I'll be focusing on those things and focused on my present experiences, because that's all we have. Okay? Remember, money can't buy you love, and love is the most important thing. All right. Markets are short term. They go up, they go down. They play with your emotions. Okay. They move money from the uneducated to the educated. The uneducated are people who bought high in the bull market and now want to sell in the bear market. Okay. If that's you, that's okay. But let's work on our education. Let's build you. Let's become a little bit more sophisticated as an investor, because we all make mistakes, myself included. Okay. Here's another way you can help this. So what Bitcoin is, you guys know I focus on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an opportunity to separate money from state. So if you understand money and what money is, money shouldn't be controlled by a small group of people. Money is just a unit that we use to exchange stuff. Okay, so we don't have to barter. So money shouldn't be in anyone's control. Bitcoin is the ability to separate money from state. Okay, religion, church and state were connected 100 years ago, and everyone thought that was the norm and it could never be any different. In today, we think that was an absolute disaster of what went on with having state and church or whatever connected. Well, maybe in 100 years we'll see what a disaster it was by having money and state connected. And Bitcoin's the opportunity to break that. Okay? And as a Bitcoiner, there's 200 million of us. If we all orange pilled one person, there's 400 million of us. If they all orange pilled one person, there's almost 1 billion Bitcoiners now. That's pretty much separated money from state. That's how easy this is. Orange pill 2 people. Every Bitcoiner does that. There's 1 billion Bitcoiners on the planet. Okay? Bitcoin takes care of itself then. So, you can help if you want. Crypto with Dinny, I'm on the journey, I'm on the mission, trying to teach people about Bitcoin constantly. But it's because I see it as having an amazing impact on people. And whether the price of Bitcoin is 20k or 60k, it doesn't matter. It's still a fixed supply, hard money. And it's inevitable that over time, in my opinion, it's inevitable that over time, more people are going to choose to own it. Okay? Because with volatility, it only trends one way. It trends up. But with volatility, it's not an easy journey. It's not just buy Bitcoin, get lucky. What else have I got here? Okay, yeah, not your keys, not your coins. Celsius paused withdrawals on Monday there. What time is it? I have to go soon. Celsius paused withdrawals on Monday there, and that's not a good sign. But I sort of my take on stuff is, if you can do something about it, then you can worry about it, and you can try and take action. But if you can't do anything about it, then there's no point in worrying about it. And I know that's easier said than done, but there's nothing I can do with Celsius. I have funds on Celsius. I use Celsius as a platform, among others, and my funds are now stuck there. I'm a trusting person, so I trust the team, and I think that they've done it to protect the community. I know that they have assets. A lot of their assets are possibly locked up in ETH 2.0, but it is what it is, and I can't really do anything about it. But all I can do is learn the lesson and then maybe refine the strategy a little bit and go, okay, should I keep my Bitcoin with third parties? My take on that has always been, I can hedge a bit of the risk of me losing my private keys by keeping it with a third party custodian. But then we have the old adage, not your keys, not your crypto, and we're seeing an exact example of that there with Celsius pausing withdrawals, and Binance done it as well, and Coinbase have done it from time to time. But one thing, and not to cause more panic, is you have contagion, that one thing's failing can lead to other things. So it may not be a bad idea now, because we're in a macro mess and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. If you do own some Bitcoin, the safest, most secure place you can have it is on a hardware wallet. So that could be something to consider if you don't custody your coins at the moment. I think it's essential. Everyone should custody some of their crypto assets and not leave them all with third parties. And some people say you should custody them all for this very reason. And they could be right, but the only reason I argue that point is because, most people who lose their Bitcoin, it's not because exchanges go bust or anything like this, it's because they screw up the private key. But something to consider is that perhaps self-custody, you definitely want to self-custody some of your crypto assets. You don't want everything. And if you don't understand how to do that yet, well, there's something you got to learn. Get yourself a hardware wallet and get some crypto off the exchange and secure it on the wallet, and now you have peace of mind. Regardless of what happens in the world, you've got some Bitcoin off the internet, not connected, and it's yours forever. All you got to do is keep it safe, put it in the multi-sig or whatever way you want to secure it. We can teach you how to do all that. If you are on this morning with us, welcome. It is a hard time, it's tough. Do me a little favor, hit the like button. I think more people the better that see this video. I encourage them not to panic sell. Okay, we broke a bottom indicator. I don't know, it's the very bottom, but it is it's 70% off. And I shouldn't laugh because I know people will be very worried and think I'm an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I'm just sure. You have to laugh, don't you? It's hopefully you weren't investing money that you needed. I've had messages from people who are investing money that they need. They're overexposed. And they know they screwed up, so there's no point in me twisting the sword once it's in. But, there's nothing you can do about it now. All you can do is sit in your hands. You can panic sell the bottom and then you secure the loss, or you can just sit in your hands and do nothing. If it's money that you're able to sit on for a period of time, well, that's what I'll be doing. Well, I'm not. I'm continuing to dollar cost average and accumulate more Bitcoin every month. That's been my strategy. It's always been my strategy. And I will continue. Anyway, I'm going to have to jump off here because I'm going consulting. I'm consulting with 3 clients today who are building plans to retire early, and they're building it an absolute wreck of a bear market. So kudos to them, because ultimately it's the very best time to do this and get it right is in a crash. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Okay? Guys, have a super day today. Shoot me a message if you're struggling. Look after your health. Remember, crypto markets, they work so fast. Like Bitcoin can go back to 60k. Literally, we went from 6 to 60 in about 2 months. Remember that. We went from 6k to 60 in 2 months. You don't think Bitcoin can do that? Have you not studied Bitcoin? Have you not looked at past charts? Remember, this thing was worth 0 before. Bitcoin's not broke. Bitcoin's still Bitcoin. It's still chugging on, block by block. Fair enough. The thing's built on top of it, so some of these exchanges and things are being stressed and pushed to the limit. But Bitcoin's still Bitcoin. That's why we love it. It's predictable. It just does what it does. You don't have to trust anyone. And that's about it for today. I'm trying to not be too positive because I know a lot of you are hurting and bleeding. But continue your education. Reach out if you're really in dire straits and you need a bit of counselling. The last thing you want is people's mental health suffering. Try and become part of a community. Recessions are building times. Time to get into community and be with people, and go through the hard times together, because it's easier. It's easier together than trying to struggle on your own. Don't struggle on your own. If none of your buddies are into Bitcoin, become part of the Crypto With Dinny community. Get into our Facebook group. Get onto our page. Come and do any of our workshops, and we put you in our WhatsApp groups and all this other stuff. Guys, have an awesome day. Dinny out.